Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam, thanks for hanging out with me again today. And on today's video, well, it's another Willy good day. So if you guys haven't seen it, check this one out. This is the Wild Willy 2 that I picked up from Pete Wiley recently, and super cool car. Now, this one just happened to coincide with me getting that from Pete and building this. You know, one didn't cause the other or anything like that. It just happened that, you know, there's a lot of Willy in my life lately. So what happened was, you know, a month or so before Pete's video even aired, where he said he was thinking about possibly getting rid of his camo Wild Willy, I found this one on eBay super cheap. Brand new, in-box, unbuilt kit, was $126 with free shipping from Japan. You know, if you're looking to buy a Wild Willy 2 in the US right now, about 200 bucks, I believe, somewhere in there. So I jumped on, you know, getting the opportunity to get one so cheap, and I had plans for it already. I already had a body lined up for this. So I didn't even build the body for the Wild Willy 2. I still have that in the box. So I do have a full body set that I can make another custom Wild Willy 2 out of if I so choose. So right now it's sitting in the box, and you know, that will be a future plan to come up with a cool new scheme to do the Wild Willy 2 body in. But this one is not original idea. I've seen it done before. That's where I got the idea from. But you know, when I saw it, you know, that mental note was stapled into my brain of, yep, we need to do that. So I bring you the Tow-Mater. Now, obviously, the body was already done. This was a Mater Disney RC car, and basically it was on a little tiny, like, car-sized chassis. Think of like a smaller little MO5 chassis, you know, toy grade obviously, but you know, it had no ground clearance. It just had basically one speed, left, right, and reverse. So not a terribly fun car, but it was a kid's car, so you know, it didn't have to be. But I saw somebody else do this. It was pictures on Instagram or one of the groups, I can't remember which, that they did this. So as soon as I saw that, I went on eBay and found the body. Now, I think I paid $20, $25 for the body. Let me look. I bought the body April 4th of last year. So this has been sitting around for well over a year now, waiting to get put on a chassis. And I paid a whopping $21.66 for the entire RC car. Now, I didn't have the transmitter, which is fine. That's why I got it so cheap. All said and done, body, kit, less than 150 bucks. You know, I can't beat that at all. So, you know, it is just a bone stock, absolutely bone stock Wild Willy 2. The only thing I did is I did put bearings in it. I cannot build one without swapping out all the bushings for bearings. I even took the transmission apart and swapped all those out as well. You know, I had them. Why not do it? And then we had to come up with a mounting system for this. Now, you'll notice this one sits up a little bit taller than, say, like the, well, I mean, overall height-wise, about the same, but the body sits up a little bit higher on this one, just because, you know, you don't really have any interference from that wheel arch, but down here, you may get a little bit in the back. So I had to kind of raise it up as high as I possibly could get it without it looking too corny. And, you know, I think it's going to be fine. There may be some rubbing in, you know, doing a tight turn or whatever, but this isn't going to be a basher. I will probably run this around once or twice just to put a smile on my face, but, you know, these mirrors are not meant to be bashing around and rolling around with the weight of an RC car underneath of it. You know, this, like I said, it was basically a car underneath, so it was like to drive around on the hard surfaces in your house or in your driveway somewhere. So it wasn't meant to be tumbled and tortured. But again, it is a kid's toy, so the plastic should be fairly tumble-proof. But it has the, you know, the little toe thing back here. Nothing works, you know, obviously. But it is really cool. And, you know, when it's running around, this thing is going to be swinging back and forth. And really, the only super customization I had to do was I just wrapped the front bumper with some regular baling twine. All I did was just take some generic baling twine, wrap the bumper, and then to weather it, I just watered down some brown acrylic paint, let it soak in so it's not the bright, white, or it's not the bright tan that is. And then once that kind of started drying up, I just took some black and just dry brushed right over top of it to grunge it up. And, I was going to clip off and burn off all the little excesses, but I kind of like it. It adds to the, overall used up look of Mater. Now, as far as mounting the body, the rear body posts are the same. They're the long, straight body posts. And the major difference is up front, there are the short L body posts that come with the kit, to where the stock ones are like the longer L body clips, and they actually go from the front backwards and come up. These go forwards and come up, but I didn't have anything long enough. And in order to get the body clips out here on the side where I had a good mounting position, because everything wanted to line up underneath the motor or right beside the motor. So in order to get them out here, there's actually some extra bits on the parts tree, and I'll show you those here, that I was able to mount down here. And then you do have to square off one end for the little L body mount to go onto. It's super soft plastic. Just use the hobby knife just to kind of make 4 little flat sides on it, and then that body post pushed right on there, and it's on there nice and tight. So I planned it out to where the body posts were in the top of the wheel wells back here, and the top corners of kind of the flattest part of the engine bay and those inner fenders there. That was the only hard part of the build, was, figuring out the geometry of the twisty-turny front body mounts, and getting up underneath there and marking where they are going to go. So basically, the backs are kind of pulled in a little bit because there's a little bit of flex back there. So they're kind of pulled in a little bit to get them at the flattest part of the top. And, I had to leave the tires on so I could try to get, the wheel wells as centered on the tires as I could. So you're trying to work around the tire up underneath here with the flashlight. The body is completely opaque. You can't see through it. So basically taking, a fine tip Sharpie and trying to mark on stuff. So what I did, because I messed up once or twice and had to get rid of the Sharpie. So I just laid some tape on the inside, just the green painter's tape, and could make my marks. And from there, I got the 4 marks on here. I flipped it over, and then I took actually like a business card and used that as like a story stick. So I figured, okay, well, this side is like, 10 millimeters off here, and this side looks like it's about, 6 millimeters over here. So obviously we didn't get it centered. So, let's make each one of them 8 millimeters. So I just took a piece of cardstock, 8 millimeters wide, and marked a straight line from front to back. And then I figured out, left to right, same thing, got those centered, got the rears on, double checked the fronts. The fronts were still lined up. I did the same thing there. You just kind of got to average it out, left to right, front to back. And, the good thing is the body posts, being as long as they are, they have some flexibility. So if you don't want to get one dead square, it actually lends itself to, making it rigid. Because if you just had 4 and they were perfectly equally spaced, the body would rock side to side and front to back a little bit more. Now they're kind of like a little bit pulled in to each other. So there's a little bit of tension on them. So it kind of braces the body so it doesn't want to wiggle around as much. That's all. Right now it's raining outside again. So I'm not going to run it around. Like I said, we're going to pick a nice day. We're going to take it outside, just put it around the yard. I do have some pictures of it out in the yard. Now I didn't have the front done. So you'll notice in the pictures, this is a little bit brighter, because I hadn't painted that yet, but I'm going to end it off with the pictures and, a little turntable up on the bench here. So, like I said, not an original idea, copying somebody else's thing, but once I saw it, how can you not want a cool Mater made out of a Wild Willy 2? It's going to be a wheelie cool action. I know, it's a dad joke. Let me leave. Everybody out there, you guys be happy, be healthy, be safe. Me and Mater are going to have a good day. Hope you do too.